due to the war, 11 million GIs came home. You know, and you got the factory shutting down rather than coming up and enlarging. There was no jobs, so it's not a happy time for our country. Not many people seem to understand that. 11 million GIs, and some of them went in when they were 16 years old. And you know, because they didn't have a high school diploma, they wouldn't hire them. I'm pissed at that law. That if you have the if you have the guts and to go to war for your country, why are you going to hold that diploma against them from getting a job? But that was one of the, I didn't realize that that you had. And here I got a job. Realistically, here I took a job that some GI could have had. But I mean, that wasn't my making. And later some GIs did come to work where I worked for the Parks Department. And I was lucky during the summer, I would work at Firestone Park. That was my job all summer. And we worked 6 days a week. And I did all of the hand cutting, and I had to lay out the tennis courts every day. Every day I had to do that. White them down, smooth them out, mark them. And while I could walk to work. And when fall come, then I went with the gangs. We did the other kind of work. But I wasn't getting the same skill that the other guys were getting, only I didn't realize that. I don't know. And I never did get much of a raise for the whole period of time. And I worked there 5 years. But I was lucky that the government decided to set up night school for GIs so they could get their GEDs, which I think they could have bypassed that. And
Is that when the GED started?
Yeah.
Was it after the war?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you had 11 million GIs there. And Raymond was one of them. And, well, he only went to the 6th grade. But he could go to war and come back and fight for our country. And yet come here, and he can't take that job because he doesn't have a high school diploma. But at the first few years, that wasn't available. Then they started that program for the GIs so they could get that certificate. Why should you be denied that job? You fought for the country, and you can't take that job? I'm disgusted with them. But that's why I decided to go 4 years, which I think was a mistake. I should have took a GED right then. But I went, but because I couldn't get all of the courses that you'd have got at normal high school, so I never did get that. And I had to go double up on some courses just to get the credits. And I took 3 years of Spanish. Well, and because they only indoctrinated them like when some of them married and brought a wife over here, they got to go to that night school so they can, in a sense, get a GED so they can become a citizen. So I didn't get a real high school test. And the other thing is, I was never around anybody my age. I was working with some old men. Some of them were old, and just some of the GIs they hired some GIs. I worked with them. So I never had no good relationship with kids my age because I had to walk to school. I went to South High School. I had to walk there. I'd go to work, and I'd have to ride a bus or whatever over to Perkins Woods back then, where they gathered, and then they moved it to the other side of Market Street, almost into the valley there before you get to Cargo Falls. They rented a building. So that's where I'd have to go. So I have to get up early just to get to work there. Then I got to come home, and then I got to go to school. So
you're talking about the civil service job that you had to walk to?
No. He went to night school.
Oh, you went to night school.
Yeah, I went with the GIs. But I was going as a full-time student. But and I shouldn't have done that because they weren't offering a blanket of high school courses. They was offering just a few so they could get them a GED.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that. If I had, I probably could have done that, and I'd have been through with it because I didn't get any more education than I would have had or thought I would have had. So my education was really not much informal education wasn't. But I did take a course at Bookville College. At least I didn't flunk it. That's as far as I got, because I got drafted. So, but anyway, so relationship to, even though I didn't go out with girls, I didn't even hardly see them, except I see them in the parks and that. But I was a worker. But socially wise, I did socialize with anyone in my age group. And I'd come home, well, it's time to go to bed. And I did that until I got drafted.